Welcome to Arizona Longtails. David here again, and today we're going to be working on Duramax 208cc engine. The 999cc engine at the moment has parts en route, so hopefully next week we'll have an update on that one. But what we're going to be focused on is just adding a tachometer that we offer at our Amazon store. It's been the one that's been working best with these engines, or overall any single cylinder engine. Lifespan, the accessories that comes with it, which is the Velcro mounts, the wiring, almost just plug and play tunability that it comes with it. Enough wiring, simple enough just to route and wire around the spark plug, just 4 wires. And we could do a little simple unboxing on what it comes with. So it's sold by Run Leader, runs around $14. It's gonna be these blue color tachometer. At first we didn't like the blue, but it does match really well with the Duramax. So from the factory you get the tachometer. There is a plastic on the battery, so you would have to remove that. It does come with 3M double-sided tape with Velcro. So the one with the hole is gonna mount on the back side. See the cutout, so you could service the battery at a later date. And then this side would mount. Typically on this one, we do mount it right underneath the Duramax logo. It's at a good position to see it when running. You turn backwards, and you'd be able to notice where it's at. And then it comes with the instructions depending on what cylinder size or quantity of cylinders you have on the engine. And then it comes with 2 zip ties, which the zip ties we utilize once we're tying up the wires onto the spark plug coil. So the tachometer, pull the cap open, move the plastic, find the clip clockwise, close it up. Powering on. Okay, so we push the M button, it's going to tell us the mode. If we hold the S, it's going to start flashing, so we could adjust it. So okay, so we're setting the mode 1P2R. You have to hold this S for it to go to a mode to change it, but at least if you push the mode, it'll tell us, and then 5 seconds later it'll go. These would be the hours on the engine. So 0 hours, we're about to install it, and it won't read the RPMs until it gets a signal that it's firing. So the next step would be to put the Velcro on it. So tachometer comes with a pair, front and back, soft and grippy side. So the soft side has a hole cut out for the battery. You can see it only goes in one position. Can't mount it incorrectly. So you remove this tape guard, and you want to get it pretty well, just like that. Battery serviceable, CR 2450 battery is what it utilizes. Haven't had to change one out yet on my engine. I think we've had my engine almost 2 years now. Doesn't consume much power, you can see there. So now this would mount onto wherever you want on your system. We've had installations before on the air filter, but we always find that we do go to a stage 1 pretty soon after going buying a stock engine. So the air filter, I try to save this, not to use it on that or on the stock air filter box. On the smaller engines, I typically don't see too many people going to an external engine, or I'm sorry, to an external gas tank, mostly because the engine doesn't supply enough vacuum to supply an external tank and have a pulse pump. At least to be, it's hard to beat the reliability of gravity feed on the water. It's easier just to fill up your tank again and have an external tank, every hour or so of driving. So what we do like, since we're most likely going to keep the tank, is put it right underneath the tank. It has plenty of space. I'll have plenty of Velcro for it to hold on to. And it's at a good height, so when you look backwards, you could see the RPM. So looks pretty well there, and sticks on. So that's your engine mounting position, and then you got your tachometer mounted. So the tachometer does come with about good side of 4 feet of cable. So this is good if you want to have the tachometer in visibility. If you're in a little golf cart or go-kart, you could have this where it's visible on the front panel, or at least on the bottom side, good distance from the engine. For us, we're pretty close. We only need a couple inches. So what we're going to do is try to route the line. So we're running around here. Throttle cable is going to be right here. It shouldn't interfere as it goes forward and back. And we got our guide right here, and this is the ignition coil or ignition module going to the spark plug. This is the wire we want to wrap around on. So this right here, that one loop, that's what I would consider one circle. We do a second one to the first wire. That's 2. 3. This would be the 4th. So bringing it nice and tight. Between here, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. So with the zip ties provided, I would zip tie these two ends together, and that creates, pull it tight, 1, 2, 3, 4 coils around the spark plug wire. Won't interfere with the throttle linkage. Again, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 coils going through. So from here, we could actually just cut the zip tie excess and then cut the rest of the cord from the tachometer. So from here, tachometer, we could start the engine. Got pull start at the moment, and we can see our RPMs. So hours will always, that's going to read when the engine's not running. As soon as we start running, it should start reading the RPMs. So if you just saw, yeah, the RPMs were off because it was idling and it was reading pretty high RPM. So what we're doing is actually bringing it to the P1 or 1P1R setting. And I do believe that's what's factory, or what these tachometers come with stock. So you might not even have to change it, because I think that's the setting that's actually been working best for us, or at least more accurate. So we'll do that test again. It's looking good. So actually the 1P1R is actually the best setting for these 1-cylinder engines, even though it's not a 2-cylinder 4-stroke or it's not a 2-stroke 1-cylinder. But that setting is the most accurate for the actual RPMs, so that's a good thing to know. My buddy Joey on this engine has, you know, you can see we got a loose spring right here. Did do the governor delete mod on this engine, so that's where you could see it go above 4,000 RPM. He's gonna do the throttle linkage on it as well. It's meant to go on a mud motor, so that's the benefits of doing that, getting rid of that governor. But that's pretty much it. That's the way that tachometer is going to work. It's gonna, you know, brand new engine, so that the hour meter is going to be accurate to how much time the engine has had on it. Everything's sounding real good. It's pretty much stock engine. He flipped the muffler from being right side up to vertical here, which helps us with clearance and cooling. But it's going to be going on a local guy's boat. Thanks for watching.